Hi, I'm John Bandler. In this video, I'm talking about my Cyberlaw book, how it's organized, how you can learn about cyber and law, because law is not just for lawyers, and I also have free parallel resources on my website and online courses. Now, every now and then there are students or learners who are intimidated by a book, maybe because it's a course book in a course they're taking, and course books naturally intimidate some, or because it's on law or on cyber or cyber law. So I want to talk through the parts of my book. It's not intimidating. It's clearly organized and written. And if you read through it, you can learn a lot about law, cyber, and cyber law too, and learning too. So I wrote the book because law is for everyone, not just for lawyers, especially if we're going to be a nation of laws. I've been teaching cyber law for years. I needed the perfect cyber law course book, so I wrote it. And I realized my students and many other people need to understand basic law before they can learn cyber law. And in a nation of laws, everyone needs to know a little about the law. So the book is written for almost anyone. It's for anyone willing to put in the time and effort to read. It's written simply. Anyone can read it. It's organized. It's modular. I've got parts, chapters, sections, a glossary, index, and additional resources. Some on my website, totally for free, no registration. So let's talk through the parts like we are building a house or some other structure. We build from the bottom up, and we start with a foundation. And the foundation of the book is part one. It introduces the book. It introduces our mindset for learning cyber law. I introduce cyber law, and we talk about reading, learning, researching, and artificial intelligence tools and what those mean for learning. Part two is an introduction to law. Introduce law and our legal system in the U.S. We talk about rules, laws, our legal system, the Constitution, crime, civil law, the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, and so forth. And then part three, we enter cyberspace. We introduce technology, cybersecurity, cybercrime, and privacy issues. Now that's a lot of text. Let's shrink the text, and now let's add a cap on it so that we can build on top of parts 1, 2, and 3. And now let's shrink it down. Make room for the next parts that are coming. Now, part 4 is criminal cyber law. We're talking about cybercrime and cybercrime investigations. We talk about the Western Express case, cybercrime laws of substance and procedure, virtual currency and money laundering. Some of you know virtual currency by its subset of cryptocurrency, and we talk about cybercrime in general. Then part 5 is civil cyber law part 1. We apply traditional civil laws to cyberspace. We're talking intentional torts, negligence, contract, regulation, and intellectual property. Now we need to reduce some of that text, shrink it down, and let's rotate and stack it so we have room for the parts that are coming. And the next part is part 6, Civil Cyber Law 2, Data Law, Cybersecurity Law, Privacy Law, and Artificial Intelligence. And I'll just call that Data Law. And let's shrink it, reduce it, and move it. And then we go to part 7, which is International Cyber Actions and cyber conflict. Nations use cyberspace. We need to review those laws, the laws of conflict, which get applied to cyber, including evaluating nation-state influence operations. So let's shrink that, move it over, and then we get to part 8, which is speech, expression, and thought in cyberspace in our brains. There's additional law we cover here, but there's also a lot that is beyond law. It strikes to the heart of government, society, and us as individuals. So one way to think of that is cyber influence and the battle for our brains, because people are battling for our brains to influence us, to get us to view, click, subscribe. P.S. Don't forget to like and subscribe here. To buy, and also how to vote. So let's move that over. And then we get to part 9, which is organization management and cyber laws. So if you're managing, owning, running an organization, a business, a nonprofit, you need to think about business law, management and policy work, managing cyber issues, a cybersecurity policy, a privacy policy, all those decisions on information technology you need to make. And we talk about my 4 pillars of cybersecurity in addition to other cybersecurity frameworks. So let's shrink that down, move it, and then our last part is conclusion and resources. Call it an appendix, but we got references, list of diagrams, abbreviations, a glossary, and that index. So let's shrink that, let's move it, and let's give these other parts the space they deserve, and that is the book. That's the 10 parts. So it is a solid book on cyber law. It's well organized, written simply and clearly. No knowledge of law or cyber is required. I give that introduction. It's reasonably priced. There's links in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe for this video and my channel, please. And I'll put these references in the description, my book page on my website, free resources, and how to buy the book. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.